Hello all. Today we'll learn about the basic fundamentals of computer programming and fundamentals. We'll just learn about what it is. So whenever we say programming, paradigms. So here we will study about the unstructured and structured programming and basically what OOP is, that is object-oriented programming, and the basic characteristics of a good program, the various types of programming languages. So we'll just see what each and everything is in detail. So whenever we say program, a program is nothing but it's a set of instructions, right? So whenever we say instruction, again, now for example, let's say you want to prepare a dish. So how do you do it? You have a particular recipe, right, that we follow, and then those are nothing but a set of instructions that we follow in order to get the required output. Similarly, a program is nothing but it's a set of instructions given to the system in order to get the required output. So basically it says it's a process of writing an algorithm into a sequence of computer instructions. So it's only because of the algorithm, we are able to write good programs. If the algorithm is written well, I would say if the algorithm is composed well, then you can get a very good program. You'll be able to write a very good program. So there are two basic types of programming. One is the structured and the other one is the unstructured. So we'll see what structured programming is. So it says it's a type of programming that generally converts large or complex programs into more manageable and small pieces of code. And it says these small pieces of codes are usually known as functions, or we also call it as modules, and sometimes they are also termed as subprograms of the huge entire big the complex program. And structured programming is called as modular programming. The reason is because it is being divided into modules, right? And it says it minimizes the the one such advantage of making it into modules is it will help us to minimize the chance of functioning affecting another, which means one module, let's say there is some disruption in the working of one module, that wouldn't lead to the disruption of the other modules, right? So this is just one piece of program wherein which we have a C program here that demonstrates structured programming. So here, if you can see here, hash include the preprocessor directive, followed by a function. So now the function here is the sum function, and we also have a subtraction function here. So now here, if you can see here, there are two functions that are already defined, and well implemented. And as we all know, the program begins from the main, and here we have, declared as well as initialized, two variables a and b with the value 10 and 5, and also two user defined variables add and minus. So we'll see where we are going to use these variables. So here comes the function call, that is the sum function. So add equal to sum a comma b. Remember, it's always this is your LHS and this is the RHS, right? It's always from RHS to LHS. So this is how the program reads. That means sum of a comma b. So when the control sees this, it goes to this particular function sum. It'll try to um, analyze the parameters that has been passed a and b, that is which is of the data type integer, and it will try to compute the result. That means a plus b. So what is a plus b? 10 plus 5, 15. So add will be equal to 15. The next one, that is the control goes to the next line. Remember, the control reads line by line, which means it is a sequential reading. And the next one is a subtract, and similarly it goes to that particular subtraction function. It reads the parameters a and b, which is of the data type integer, and as we all know, we have already initialized two variables a and b, 10 minus 5. So what is 10 minus 5 here? That is nothing but 5. So minus will have 5, the value within these particular variables. So now the next one is printf. As we all know, printf will print to the monitor screen. And here comes whatever you type within double quotes will be printed, addition equal to, and what value, because add has a numerical value, that's why it is percentage dn, because whenever I say numerical value here, it is again the data type, that's the integer. Suppose if I make it as float, then it should be percentage f, and so on. And here, what is the value that has to be printed? That is the add value has to be printed, which is of the data type integer, and hence it is percentage %d. Similarly with the subtraction. So the output would be addition equal to, what is addition? 10 plus 5. And subtraction equal to 10 minus 5. So this is the output. So this is a structured way. That means you are dividing the pieces of code, okay, into, okay, simple functions that are outside the main. Remember, main is also a function. Okay, and what is the next one? That's the unstructured programming. So we just now saw the structured programming. Now let's see what is unstructured. So it says it is a type of programming that generally executes in a sequential order, and it says these programs does not, okay, jump from any line of code, and each line gets executed sequentially. As we can see here in the structured way, okay, whenever it saw the function, it used to jump from main function to that respective function. But in an unstructured way, that doesn't happen. Everything will be sequentially. That means you can expect all of these functions within the main function. Okay, so this is an example of how, okay, unstructured programming looks like. So if you can see here, we have the main function, the same program, int a equal 10, b equal to 5, int add comma minus what addition is doing. See, in the previous one, we saw add equal to sum of a comma b. That means we created a function that is sum and as well as sub. But here we are directly performing the operations a plus b, a minus b. Okay, and then trying to print the same results. But if you can see in both the programs, there is no difference with the output. Definitely it shouldn't give the difference. But okay, what basically happens here is add and minus would work only with 10 and 5. Okay, and only whatever operations are being performed, okay, it is sequential. And in this particular way, there are chances that, see, this is a simple program with 10 plus 5. Let's say you want to add several numbers, so this would not be the apt way, right? This is the best way wherein which you can reuse the functions whenever needed. So reusability increases in this structured programming, whereas in unstructured it isn't there. Okay, which proves to be a disadvantage. I hope today all of you understood about structured and unstructured programming. In the next class, okay, in the next session, we will learn about object oriented programming. Thank you.